Hey everyone, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How are y'all doing? Yeah, welcome to another episode of In the Midst of the Unknown with Doctor. So, how is everyone doing? How was your week? How was your day? Just how is everything going? And it's good to have you back here. So, let's call this the real episode one of Midst of the Unknown. So, today on this show, I really want to talk about this thing we don't really talk so much among ourselves. I don't know, but it's just like it talks with us. We're just like, okay, I'm just gonna keep this and deal with it. It's the loneliness, 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 the loneliness that no one talks about when you're very far away from home. And you know, we can't really share it with our parents sometimes, and that's why I think most of the people back home believe, oh, she's doing very great. They see you post a picture on your socials. Maybe you couldn't even buy a water where you are. You just say, okay, for memory purpose, I'm gonna take a picture. And everyone think you're doing great. And when your parent or my parent call, we go like, oh, I'm fine, mom. I'm fine, dad. Yeah. And they're like, oh, I saw the picture you post on Facebook. Uwi, ang ganda naman. And you go like, yeah, 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 I'm fine. But then, I know that I'm broken. I'm penniless. I'm without nothing. So I was like, okay, let's dive into this topic and talk about it and how I think I've, how I have overcome some of it. So a quick story about myself again is like when I was younger, in my late teens, early 20s, should I call it? So I graduated high school, and after 2 years after graduation, I got the opportunity to come here. I was working as a teacher assistant, and I was fine, a little bit, not totally fine, because we all know the Nigeria of today was so. So before the Jackpot era, if you don't know what is Jackpot, it's just like everybody's carrying their bag and we're all just like, okay, I need to go abroad. So before the Jackpot era, I my sister got me an opportunity to work here, and I was so young. I was excited. I'm like, oh my god, girl, puta cadena, brother. You're gonna have your own money, and you know, you don't need to worry about allowance from your parents anymore. You can save money quicker and go back to university because that was my dream. Yeah, that was my dream. So I got the opportunity. I arrived here and okay, day one, tick, day two, tick, day three. Oh my god, I think I started crying by day three because I was like, what is this? The silence, the unknown, the culture, the everything. It's like, where am I? What am I? Where is this? It's like you're left in the middle of a forest or a desert or just stop somewhere in the midst of the ocean. And trust me, the first 2 years, I think I cried at least 4 days a week. And the funny thing is, even during that time, my mom will call and she goes, how are you doing, my dear? In Nigeria, the way our mom greets us is different. It goes like, Ọkọ mi, olówó orí mi, báwo ni gbogbo ẹ̀, if you're from the Yoruba tribe. So it literally means like, my dear, my husband, my this, how are you? Is everything okay? And I might, I might have just finished shedding tears. Then I go, yeah, everything is fine. I'm good. It's nice. It's this. And as soon as I finished dropping the phone, I start crying again. I remember there was a day Me and one of my coworkers, we just finished working and we sat down and she started crying about missing our children and our husband. And out of nowhere, I started shedding tears. I was like, oh, God, die, Wakawaiyak. It's like, girl, don't cry this. So I might be joking, but it was very bad because I actually ended up getting depression and then fighting emotional, mental health, and all of this far away from your family. And actually, back in Africa, mostly in Nigeria, they don't get what you call mental health or anything. Maybe now, but back then, they are just like, get your head straight. You're lazy. That's why you're being like that. They don't understand. And I can't really express it. I can't tell them. Even my sister that brings me here, she will embrace me sometimes, and sometimes she ends up scolding me like, everybody just have to bear it. I mean, everybody's going through one or two things because they couldn't understand. So it leads to more loneliness. I'm already someone who is introvert a little bit. I'm in between, introvert, extrovert. I don't know which one I am, to be honest. Ambivert, or what they call it. I don't even know. I think there's another one, introvert. Well, they just bring out different one every season, so I don't know. So I found myself withdrawing back, and then one of the one that strikes the most is if you're in Nigeria, you either go to church, you go to mosque, or you go to the tradition. I was someone that was raised in a Christian home, and then coming from you can go to church like 3 times a week to not even going at all once a week because some of us here in the UAE we actually find ourselves in that position where your work does not even allow you to go out on Sundays or it was so bad. It was so bad that it was very severe. And then let's now talk about the silence. I think the silence is very crazy because you go to work in the morning, you're at work, everybody is busy at work, focus. I don't know if you work in a good office where, okay, there's good communication, but some of us find ourselves where we don't even have an office. We're just there. You don't really have much to communicate about. Of course, it's weird. It's a stranger. You don't want to bring yourself to start saying everything about your life to a stranger. You're being careful because the world is dangerous. In Africa, when you go, they tell you, remember the daughter of who you are. Ranti Omenitonshe. And they go like, Arala Moha. Umano is like, we only know ourselves. We don't know what's inside someone else's stomach. I don't know if that's the right. So it was very hard. And then you come back home at night, you're exhausted, you're tired. At least back home, your mom and dad will ask you, Kamustaka, how was your day? What happened? Even if you don't have a very close relationship, you'll be able to say one or two things. Or you have friends you see on Sundays and talk to them about stuff. This now you find yourself, you come back, it's only you, your phone, your bag. Then you calculate the time. I need to sleep. I need to wake up. And it's just so silent. And it can be really disturbing because you're like, okay, what do I do now? I can't make friends. I can, you're being careful. It's a new place. You don't know where to go, even. Even if you know where to go, the guilt to just spend money anyhow, because of course you're a breadwinner abroad, maybe. I'm a breadwinner abroad, trying to figure my life. You calculate, and I don't know, there's this consciousness of, okay, if I buy this right now, if I would calculate it to the money, in my country, do you know how much that is gonna be? All of these things, sister. So I'm trying to say is it was a really crazy journey. I mean, it's a really, really crazy journey, but there come one day and I realize, girl, how long are you gonna live like this? One word, no one is going to save you. No one is coming to save you except you save yourself. That's very certain. Okay. Even if you pray to God and God will save you still need to take actions for God to save you. So I told myself, girl, instead of you just wallowing, shallowing, because no one was actually going to save me. I was having very bad, severe panic attacks. I don't know about therapy. I tried to find online therapy. It's so expensive. I can't afford it. Yeah, I couldn't afford it. It wasn't like this. Like these days, you have free therapy online. Sometimes you could communicate with some therapies online, and it's a free organization. There was nothing like that now back then. So I told myself I need to pick up myself. I mean, God forbid, I don't want to be put back in a box and sent back home in Jesus' name. All of those things. I was suicidal, I was everything. So I said, okay, what do I do next? First of all, I decided, okay, I need to go back to the source. That is going back to God. I don't have a perfect relationship with Him yet, to be honest. I'm not gonna come here and do only at thou. No. I do not have a perfect relationship with Him. Back then, I could maybe just, I watch service, but I'm playing the service. And I used to have an iPad and I'm watching movie on my iPad. I was crazy about Korean. I mean, I'm a Korean fan, so which was very bad. Korean is not bad thing. Watching Korean movies is not bad thing, but putting some things before God, it makes it very bad. So first, I went back and prayed to God and tell him, huh, guy, you need to save your daughter because she's dying. That was that first, and I sat down and I said, what type of music am I listening to? What type of things am I surrounding myself to? So I changed my music to happy music. Yeah, depression is gonna be there, but it's just like you got burns with hot water, and you decided to take a hot water in a towel and still put it on top of that in the name of taking care of it. It's not gonna cure the wound. It's just gonna expand the wound. So I changed the music first. So these are steps I took to overcome loneliness and change my perspective from seeing it as loneliness to seeing it as it's actually okay not to be okay. It's okay to be alone, not loneliness, because you could be with someone, you could be in the midst of full of people and you still feel lonely. I felt that way. I found myself in a situation where I'm in a place that is full of people. They are talking, they are laughing. And in my head, I'm just thinking, what's this? Maybe, God forbid, suicidal thoughts. I'm just laughing, but in my head, it's full of suicidal thoughts. I'm having panic attacks and I make the excuse to go to the bathroom. I put my headset with a very loud music and I'm putting on a smile on my face, but inside, I was broken. So, it is very important to cure that. And there's a difference between loneliness and being alone. I've been talking too much. I need to drink water. So, step two, I took care of the music, my surroundings. And then after, I sat myself down and I told myself, okay, Tolu, if, God forbid, something ever happened to you here, God forbid, your family will cry. They're gonna sorrow. They grieve, but they can't bring you back to life anymore. And then sayang. Sayang means Siamese, it's a waste. So I told myself, okay, what are you learning in this loneliness, in this silence? What are you learning? So I realized, okay, in this loneliness, I realized, okay, I'm actually learning there is this side of me. I never knew I have this side that craves so much attention of someone before. Knew, I never know I had this side of me. So I'm discovering a new side of me. And then it also, I realized it shaped me actually because thanks to the loneliness, to the feeling of alone, to the feeling of uncertainty, and I like uncertain. Oh my God, English is not Englishing. You know what I mean, right? I was able to see, okay, I can't spend anyhow because I'm far away from home, a breadwinner, number one. Number two, oh, I'm sorry if you hear my stomach running. Number two, I need to take care of myself. So I can't spend anyhow. I need to have a budget. Okay, so that was fixed. And I realized it gave me depth. I'm able to sit down and I started thinking, who am I? What do I want to be? Why am I here? What's the plan? I started asking myself, I start to ask myself deep questions instead of me deeping myself in sorrow. And then I realized also this loneliness actually it's pushed me to be uh, a version of me that really want everything to be okay. Remember I said it's okay not to be okay. But then you realize in the midst of this it's okay not to be okay. You walk towards being okay. So I took a pen, I wrote out everything. And then I didn't just write it out. Am I in the place I want to be? Not yet, but I know I'm right where I'm supposed to be. So I, okay, I said, okay, I write my life goals, my life plan, because let's be honest, Saturday, all of us, we will die one day when we grow older. But then, what's the benefits of working so hard in depression, in everything, saving all the money? Only when you reach the end of your life, you realize you didn't even get to spend the money. So, once I think that way, that's the way I think personally. I decided, okay, maybe the first thing I'll do is every time I got a salary in this lonely world where I'm alone, okay, I'm a Christian. I pay first my tithe. After paying my tithe, okay, how much do I want to send to my family? You have to actually create a goal, a plan. I send to my family and I treat myself every month. If I want to eat ice cream, I buy the ice cream even if it's expensive, but of course I'm not breaking my budget. So I don't know if you're learning from what I've been saying. Now let's talk about plans on how to overcome plans to not feel or should I call it plan or ways to not feel stuck in a foreign country, far from home, lonely. Number one, I'm not very good in communicating with my family. Like I don't know how to ground a very strong relationship. I don't know how to make friends, but maybe it is stepping out of your comfort zone is calling your mom maybe someday and share what you're going through with her. If you don't have, if you're not in that kind of relationship with your parent, try making friends. Of course, it's very dangerous online today. It's dangerous everywhere. But then, what I say, it's dangerous even where you live. God forbid. Make friends. Maybe one person is enough. Of course, I'm not telling you to go out and go share all of your life story with somebody you just meet today. No, but make friends that at least you can go out with them and change the atmosphere you are since that has been stressing you out. Even if you can't make friends, go outside, go for a walk maybe. The other day I went out and I was walking around the villa with my friend, and we went and I bought 5 dirham shawarma, and I swear I feel so good after eating that shawarma and walking around. That's another thing you could do. Go out instead of you going back home, sitting down, watching all the TikToks. And Instagram can be very depressing sometimes because you start seeing somebody else living the life you ever want to live, and you feel like, oh my God, why do I feel stuck? So go out, take a walk, take a deep breath, breathe a new, a fresh air, this and this, to make yourself feel better. Another thing I started doing is, uh, I won't lie, I'm still finding it hard. It's cutting my screen time. So number one, I logged out of Instagram. I log out, and for sometimes I will log out, and I kind of recode my brain to believe that everything I ever want is gonna happen if I take it slowly. So I stopped comparing my life with the life of people on social media because I don't know what they are doing behind the cameras. Another thing is, I'm sorry. Another thing is, I started to I started to sleep early. If you sleeping early, also like taking break from work. If you work in the UAE, mostly if you work in the blue collar job, is that what they call it? Where you're working straight for 1 week, you don't have a rest. And then when it's weekend, you already have another part-time job you want to do, because I understand, yeah, it's hard to save money. But then you get stressed out. You get stressed out, and then, God forbid, well, why work so hard and after spend the money on hospital? So another thing is, I'll say is, take a break, get enough sleep. If you work for 1 week straight and you haven't rest, or 1 month straight, like me, sometimes I have a work that my work is almost like 20 days straight sometimes. After that, try your best to make your body recover. Sleep enough, drink enough water. If you need to go to the hospital after, go to the hospital. Don't say, oh, mahal, mahirap, oh my God, magkano man bayad ako sa hospital yan? Pangpadala ko yan sa country ko. Alam mo magkano yan? No, that is, oh, the meaning is, oh, if I spend that money, this in hospital. No, you have to take care of yourself. Because I just imagine, what is it like? We've been our parent children. You were your parent child. You have been your mother's daughter, your father's daughter all your life, and you forget to live for you, for yourself. That's actually going to break you more. So take care of yourself. And then the last thing I could say is, work towards a plan, a goal. Maybe your goal is, you want to study like me, or okay, I want to work for 5 years, and after 5 years, I want to make sure I'm able to save this money. And then after saving this money, I want to travel, or I want to get married. You have to work towards it, because mostly we Christians, we believe once we pray to God, God is gonna make the thing happen. But God, He's also, that was why He gave us free will. He's expecting us to work towards it. Then He will just put a amen on top of it. Yeah, sometimes we work, we make plan and nothing goes according to the plan. But the joy, I think the pain we feel when it does not go according to the plan is also a sense of accomplishment. Like at least I tried and it didn't work out. So sorry. Um. So I think it's better at least you work toward that plan. God forbid if something ever happens, there is joy of at least I tried. Um. I tried. It just didn't went the way I planned it to go. And the Bible says the plans of God towards us is for good. So there is joy. I think there's a joy in when you try, it didn't work, and you tried again. It's good work, isn't it? So that's it. So I've been talking for a while. Let's come to the end of this talk show. So if you are in this season, what I want you to know is if you're in this season of you feel a little distance, a little failed, like maybe you feel like all I've planned didn't work out, or you feel alone because you're in a foreign land, you're in a place you don't know. I want you to know you are not alone in this. No. And it is not meant to break you. This feeling of loneliness, my whole point is it's not meant to break you if you actually slow down. It's actually pushing you to grow into a stronger, more resilient version of yourself that you never know you had. It's the space where you grow, where your growth has to happen. Yeah, I'm sure it feels hard, but you're building something. It's building yourself. It's you're building experience. You're building vision, power. If you actually slow down and you look back at how you were before, I'm sure there are some things you will say, thank God I actually came here. Thank God I went through it. If you're able to say. And then the greatest of all is finding gratitude in every little thing. I mean, the other day I went out to buy shawarma. I was very happy. It's 5 dirham. But I was very happy. Shift your focus. Start to find gratitude. Start to find joy in little things. Maybe it's in watching Korean movie. Yeah, stick to it. Keep watching it. In as much it's not disturbing your life, you know? So this is actually pushing you to become a stronger person. Sit down. Instead of you wallowing in your pain, I want you to maybe sit down and ask yourself these questions. Who am I when no one sees me? Who am I when there's no one to shape me? The only way you can overcome this is to find yourself in this season of loneliness, in the midst of the loneliness. Find yourself. Ask yourself that question. Those are questions I ask myself. What do I actually want? What do you actually want? Why are you suffering? Why are you still at that job even though it's draining you out? I want you to ask yourself, what do I want? What kind of life am I trying to build? So I'll leave you with these questions to ask yourself. And I pray you'll be able to find the answer. Have I found all my answer? No, but with the little that I found, I'm very happy and I'm willing to sacrifice more until I actually get the answer I want. So I want you to ask yourself this and build your plan. And I just want you to know you're great. You're where you're supposed to be and you're not on the wrong path. And